We have a youthful team of opposition leaders where Babu Owino, who is the Embakasi Member of Parliament, seems to be leading from the front. They refer to themselves as Team Ground. And Emmanuel Too had a conversation with Babu just to get a feel of what exactly is their intention. Listen in.
Well, thank you very much. We're now joined by the Member of Parliament for Embakasi East, Babu Owino, a member who is a member of a new team that has just been formed. It's called Team Ground. And I just want to know how the ground is from his new outfit that is there to take over the opposition role now that Raila Odinga is angling for the AU job. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. Ground inasemaje kwanza?
Ground iko sawa, Emmanuel. Mambo kila kitu iko sawa. Tuko team iko sawa kabisa. Hii ni outfit ambaye inapanga tu kazi ya wananchi.
Okay. So I've seen it is a youthful team of young generation members of parliament, including Wamushomba from the other side. What is this team about?
You know, Emmanuel, you can't wait for anything to be given. You must fight for yourself. You must be a visionary leader. And the vision is to empower Kenyan citizens. The vision is to ensure that that child who has not gone to school goes to school, to push the government to its limits, to the elastic limit, to the breaking point, and to ensure that the government gives unto Kenyans what they promise. So Team Ground is not a political party. We are still in our different political parties. We are in our different political outfits. I'm still a member of ODM party and a life member for that matter. Still loyal to Raila Odinga. Is still my party leader. But looking at how things are moving, there's been laxity in the opposition. So we saw the need as young members of parliament to come together and to ensure that we keep this government in check under the doctrine of separation of powers, checks and balances, which was founded in the 17th century by a gentleman called Charles Louis de Montesquieu. So in the 17th century, so we are still proceeding with that work now. So the only work is to ensure that the government does that which they promised people.
Okay. And you said that there's been some laxity in the opposition. What do you mean?
Doctors were on strike the other day, but there is nobody coming out strongly to fight for them and also to fight for the common mwananchi who are not being treated. It is not fun. It is not something to celebrate, to laugh about. When you go to the hospital, you find that doctors are not there to treat. And at the same time, it is not fun to find the doctors working and they are not being paid. The CBA, the collective bargain agreement, is not being honored by the government. So the interns, their salaries have been cut by 90%. So this is not fun at all. Doctors have not been posted for the past 1 year. They graduate, but there's no posting, there are no jobs. So what do we need to do? We need to fill in that gap. You see, right now, Baba is busy. Baba is also campaigning across Africa. Team Ground will campaign also for Baba in these different countries. We are going to call all the Congolese living in Kenya, Nigerians in Kenya, Ugandans, Tanzanians, the Sudanese citizens, the Sudan citizens who are in Kenya, to ensure that they will send them back to go and talk to their presidents to ensure that they vote for Baba. So we have to do this. We will also go talk to presidents around Africa. Personally, as Babu, I know quite a number, and I'm a friend to quite a number of presidents in Africa. Also talking to them on phone. It will not be limited also to going and visiting them and campaigning for Baba.
Okay. Yes. Which are these presidents, if you can mention a few?
If I mention that in public, Baba's opponents may run there ahead of me. But I have a great relationship with a number of presidents in Africa. That you need to know that. Way from the time I was a student leader, when I was building.
When you were also a president? When
I was also a president. So it was a president knowing other presidents. But you see, some were also promising that have captured seats at the moment. And literally in Africa, we have enough connections and enough roots across Africa. Right?
Okay. So still on that opposition part, are you saying that Kalonzo Musyoka is not up to the task that he's supposed to do to take over from Baba right now?
Kalonzo has been doing his best. He's so far so good. He's really tried his best. He's done what he should do. But I'm saying that opposition leader is not an individual's work. It has to be a collective responsibility. We have the yoke of leadership, the yoke of responsibility resting on our shoulders to ensure that we deliver our people from the bondage of oppression from this defunct government, to ensure that we deliver our people from misuse, use, reuse, and abuse from this defunct government. And when we add our energy there, when we add the megalomania there, when we add the vela there, then things will be so well for the Kenyan citizens.
And the oomph as well.
And the oomph.
All right, so Mheshimiwa, this new team, what is it setting up to do? You said you're going to organize mandamanos. How soon are you going to see you doing that?
We are going to work, because this is not an event, this is a process. Opposition work is a process. We will not be jumping just into conclusions. We will have to be sitting down and strategizing, because we are dealing with Ruto here. And when we are dealing with Ruto, we must be well prepared to handle him. So far, we can handle him, but we want to overpower him. And that is what we need to strategize well. So this team ground will go around the country, in every region, in every county, in every constituency, in every ward in this country, in every village in this country, to ensure that we put the government in check. And generally, the team ground is a movement, is not a political party. It is a movement that has just been set up by like-minded, the common voice, the voice to the voiceless, that are going to ensure that at least that which was promised, going back to what I said, is delivered. So we will tell you, we will do mandamanos if need be. If the government is planning to increase taxes, be rest assured, I'm the one who will lead that mandamano. And you know, way from the time when I was in the university, you know what I can do. Even the other day, these mandamanos, you know what I can do. So personally, at least when Baba will be campaigning, I will be taking charge of the space that is living.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you the leader of this new team?
I am one of the leaders of this team. We are different leaders. As I told you, we have equal responsibilities. But at least we are guiding each other. We are advising each other. Yes.
All right. And bringing in Wamuchomba, she's been a critic of the government from the Kenya Kwanza side. What was the idea of bringing her on board?
But you see, it is not about just bringing anybody who is criticizing the government, but bringing somebody who is objective and somebody who knows that Kenyans are being oppressed by this current regime. Wamuchomba subscribes to that school of thought. She belongs to that school of thought. And my learned opinion tells me that when we look at Wamuchomba, she's a person who is objective, rational. She wants the best for her people. Therefore, bringing her on board means that we are going to get value for that.
Okay. And perhaps going forward, in terms of your organization and the planning, what was why did you choose the young people? What was the idea behind that?
You know, right now we have generational change. We don't need to lie to ourselves. We have so many young people, youthful people in parliament, even across the country, who have dreams, who have visions. We want to tell them that it is possible, that if Babu can come from all the way from Imbo, from Nyalenda slums to here, you can do it. That youth can do it. If Babu can head this outfit, you guys can do it. We want to tell them. The other day, a president has been elected in Senegal at 44 years old. We are late. We are late. We are late. So we need to move with speed. Yes.
Are you also angling for something bigger than your position now in future?
Definitely.
The presidency?
When it comes to issues of presidency, I always pronounce myself. People always say that, do not talk about your dreams. The Bible says that when you light your candle, do you put it under the bed? You don't put it under the bed. You put it on top of the table for everybody to see. And also, what the Bible says that what a tongue confesses shall come to happen. You and I know, Emmanuel To, that among our peers, there is nobody who's better than Babu Owino. And those are the people I'm going to vie with, to vie against when it comes to the presidential elections. So literally, I will be. The only question is, when will this happen? That is what we should ask. It is not about how or why. The question is, when? And it will happen sooner than later. And you know that the juice is what they squeeze on this side. And you know that the person who can do this better, the person who can succeed Baba, that is if Baba decides to go to AU and not come back in politics, then there are only three things that leader must have. Number one, that leader must be very intelligent, just like Baba. Number two, that leader must have the passion and the energy and the megalomania and the oomph and the valor to succeed, okay? Just like Baba. Number three, that leader must have the political acumen, just like Baba. And those three characters, they are only found in one leader who is looking at you.
Babu
Owino, Ongili, Paul, Tibim, his tibimness, his tialalaness. Babu kwa sababu, kama kuna tabu ana jawabu la ajabu kwa adabu. This is a time for generational change. Jesus Christ died for us. Jesus Christ did everything.